The person who says they can and the person who says they can't are both usually right. It's Monday morning. I'm in the yard. If you watched last week, you saw the musical chairs we were playing with concrete blocks and our new bespoke blocks with the scaffold pipes within them. I was unhappy with the progress we made on Saturday, but we are going to push on with that work. Now this isn't exactly a test of strength, but you can see that it holds my weight. I'm 123 kilos currently, yeah, man, lost some pounds. It looks like it's holding out. And as you can see behind me, the train is in. Got delivery of fuel, and I've asked the lads to take some old high-vises and tie them on each of the scaffold pipes once the blocks have gone in, because it's very easy to forget, and this could be a hazard. Somebody could get their eye taken out or even scratch their face or walk straight into it, or the van could reverse into here or the machine could hit it. So we're just trying to keep it visible with these. Last week I was in the car with Terry and I was speaking about a job at a golf course. Well, that job is going to start tomorrow, but one of our 13-ton machines, we need to get a grapple on it because it's going to need to pick the vegetation and move it. But I'm going to let Terry explain that job to you tomorrow. Plant hire is growing. Well, we're going to keep some new kit in the yard. We're going to get a couple of 5-ton machines because people keep saying to us,
do you have anything between the 3-ton and the 8-ton?
And in our original plans, we didn't get any of those. So we're going to get 2 5-tons, 3 micro excavators. One of the ones you saw us deliver a couple of weeks ago that we went down to Southampton to collect. We're going to get a couple of 1-ton dumpers and 3-ton dumpers. Because at the moment, running to Southampton to collect the micro diggers means that we're not competitive. And generally when someone asks us for a micro digger, they ask us for a 1-ton dumper at the same time. But we'll need like the high tip ones so people can load skips. Kind of like our one, what you saw us move for Manny the other day. Now this morning, Ben delivered a 1-ton machine to site. And of course, he used the new Ben cam.
Morning, you alright?
Morning.
Thank you.
The work here has to be finished today because tomorrow I want to move the containers over the other side when my townie is back in. That also has to be complete in a day because I need Baratush to come and reconnect the electrics in the training room and the merchandise room. We're not losing out at the moment because we're not training anyone and the merchandise container doesn't really do anything. It just sits there and stores equipment. But the scaffolders will be here first thing tomorrow morning, so I'm going to get out of the way and let the lads carry on. Yes, Liam, you are the designated measurer with me. 6.3 meters. When I flip this container over here, let's find out how much space we got. So there'll be a walkway behind it to get up these stairs. I got to work out, make sure the stairs don't clash with my stairs. You played football yesterday?
I played Saturday, yeah.
You played Saturday?
Yeah.
And?
6-0.
Wait, hold on. I think we're making progress here. You didn't lose 11-0. You only lost 6-0 this week. It's a good thing you're doing good with plant hire, man. I'm not sure this kicking ball is for you, Liam. I'm going to be honest with you. Ben's here.
Okay, you what? You don't trust him with a tape, mate.
I know. You wouldn't trust him with a football either. All right, come, let's go. The MIG welder's got to be able to track round here and go there, and we've also got to make sure we got to go up there. We're going to take these 2 offices and we're going to flip them and put them here tomorrow, and then the stairs will come down into this area, what gives us space to drop another office there, because as I told you last week, we're going to start to really push the bagged aggregates. And we got someone coming in to only sell bags. We should really be doing about 200 to 300 bags of material a day. But we need a new office for that so I can separate the accounts team from the wolf pit that is operations, transport, and Liam. I won't say my measurements are off, but it hasn't exactly worked out as I planned. Look at that. Just gonna get the grinder, cut a couple of mil off this, and then that block should drop down, and then we can carry on with the work. It'll go. Plan has changed. I said that we were gonna be dropping this off tomorrow, but we are now gonna drop this off today. So we're ready for tomorrow morning, because Ben can't go there tomorrow morning, because I phoned my mate Foxy, and he said that they have an office container which we can have. So Ben's gonna go to Preston in the morning and collect the office. While he's doing that, we'll be moving the other offices round. So he'll spend the whole day collecting that. So if we drop this today, then we can get started on this job first thing in the morning and not cause any delays. So we're just waiting for Ben to come back. He'll load it up and he'll be off. It's Tuesday morning. I'm heading up to Coventry, more accurately Nuneaton. I think that's the correct pronunciation. But Terry's on site. Let's see how he's getting on.
So we're on site this morning. We've got the machine on site that was delivered yesterday. We've got the rolling off bin here. The guys that work at the golf club started filling the rolling off bin yesterday, just by hand. Obviously we're here with the machine now. Flo's here as the operator. We're gonna start tidying back all of the rubbish that starts at the gate, at the entrance to where we're working, getting underneath it, pick out any bits of rubbish. We've got a lot of this dead green waste to clear as well. Bit of rubbish over there. We're gonna get this bin full and get it exchanged this afternoon. And then we have to wait for the ecologists to come before we start stripping any more of the vegetation away, the live vegetation, because they've got a presence of newts on site. And obviously they're a protected species, so we can't do anything to disturb their habitat, because if there are, we have to stop work. Fingers crossed they're not, and they have relocated them successfully. Yeah, crack on from there.
McGowan, the Love Island contestant, has arrived in the yard, and now we're going to begin the build of the scaffold. Now, we have enough in place to make a start, but you see us when we're pouring, we generally pour 3 concrete blocks with scaffold poles and 1 jersey barrier with scaffold poles. However, we don't need any more blocks, so we're going to prepare 2 jersey barriers with scaffold poles, and then we're going to pour 2 normal concrete blocks, because with all the bays we're going to be building, we don't have enough concrete blocks currently. But once we have those 2 jersey barriers, I believe those are going to be the last 2 bits we need to provide the foundations for this massive structure, which is going to keep the tyre fitter dry when he's changing tyres on the lorry. Ben is on the run again. He's gone to collect the office, which Paul Fox is loaning to us. And I told them that Ben would be there about 10 o'clock. But Ben decided that he weren't having any of that, and he weren't gonna get stuck up in the north of the country. The time now is 8:55, and Ben should be pulling up to load the office container onto the flatbed. So my mate Cash, the owner of Crown Aggregates, he has finished his wash plant, and he has spent £6 million, and he asked me to cut the ribbon, which I'm very thankful for, but I felt a bit awkward because it's his wash plant, not mine. But I just want to showcase this and show everybody what hard work and not giving up can achieve. Heading back to the yard after an inspirational morning at Crown Aggregates. Terry has just checked on the tracker for me. Ben is about an hour and 20 minutes from the yard, and I'm an hour from the yard. And I've just been told that my townie is cutting the weld between the training room and the merchandise container, which means he's getting ready to do a lift. Now, I want to get back there for the lift because we need as many sets of eyes as possible. I don't want to jump in the machine. That's long. Someone else can do that. I think Ollie's in the yard. Flo can't do it because Flo is on the golf course job. So we're running around like mad trying to organise to make sure that this happens. A lot we got to get done this week. Forward for the glory of Ashville. The car is generally conversation time, catch-up time, and rant time. I just spoke with someone about a gentleman that we both know who started his own business, At the moment, he's not doing any business because he's depressed, because it wasn't going his way and it was very difficult and stressful. The person I'm speaking to about it, they're telling me not to say anything, but we both know that he's going to go back and tell him what I said. You know that I know that you know that I know. I would have the conversation with him myself, but it's all about the delivery, how you tell people these things. Business is challenging, it is difficult, and it is non-stop. Thinking that you will start a business and get up out your bed whenever you feel like and take Christmas holidays and Easter holidays and a 3-week holiday with your family, it doesn't work like that. You will not start a business and think that the money you make in your business's infancy, that you're going to go to posh places to eat and you're going to flex and throw around the word entrepreneur. When you're your own boss, you actually have less time than people who are employed. When it's good, you are benefiting from the good. So when it's bad, you really just got to get on with it. I have suffered with depression multiple times in my life. There's times when I'm talking to the camera and I'm not even really here, but you cannot stop. The worst thing in the world is to sit down and feel sorry for yourself and mull over it. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. If you want to do this, it doesn't work that you will do what you want. You need to do what is required of you. And even when you do what's required, it may not be enough. But when you wake up the next day, you got to find another way to do what's required and to make up for what you did yesterday, or you will sink. It's as simple as that. I said this back before and I'm saying it again. These are not my words, I got it from Confucius. The person who says they can and the person who says they can't are both usually right. They're both right. And that's all I have to say about that. On the way back to the yard. Okay, I'm back mid-lift. And that is how you play musical chairs with containers and prepare for a couple of days and everything slots into place, and as the delivery of the container turns up, you've just finished the other bits and that slips in, and then you put the landing and the stairs back in place. That is teamwork and a job well done. I'm proud of that. Just checking on the scaffolding. I can see the legs are made all around one side. I can see now why Matt wanted to make the legs double. Once that's bolted, they keep correcting me, once it's bolted to the lengths. I think that's the correct term. I don't know scaffolding terms, but once it's connected, it will definitely hold it in place. The tyre area is basically redundant at the moment because the tyre fitter can't work here. However, there's still tyre work going on and he is working out here. What tyres are on the volley? What are they,
31580s.
31580s. What have we got here?
Get a blowout on the...
A blowout?
Yeah, by taking that off, this one was a bit worse for wear.
Yeah, so you're putting change 2 straight away, yeah?
You'll be back on the road in 5 minutes.
Okay, even though we don't have the tyre space, we need to carry on with the tyres. The tyres are ongoing and constant. So. And then hopefully when we're done with that, over here, the jersey barriers have been prepared with the scaffold pipes within them. We have to pour them today to make sure that they are dry for tomorrow, because we need those two to finish off this section here. Get this done, get the lorry over there and pour that concrete so we're ready for tomorrow morning. Can't lose the space here. If he can't convert to flat ducting and go underneath here, then we run to here, we come here, we build out this wall, and then the pipe comes into the room here, and then we build this out and build that out to match it. It's the only way. We need the fresh air. What about the extraction in the toilet? What way is that going?
These are both sides. You can also come here, go like that, and bring it in.
I think that's what we have to do. You're saying that both these pipes have to run all the way over there. The toilet we're just going to extract, and the area there, whenever they have the poker table, we're just going to dump the fresh air into the space. And where's the extraction? Here.
That's the extraction, yeah.
Okay, so therefore this pipe, if this pipe can go in this direction, and then we can get into there, and then that's how we're going to get the fresh air into that space, yeah?
We've got windows coming in 2 weeks' time. If we run the cables to sockets, that's it.
Okay. We're not doing plasterboard without the windows in.
No, that's
But we're gonna have the windows like 4 weeks time, and in this 4 weeks time I can prepare the ceilings, the MF, metal,
I understand.
and I can start donut up the walls when the windows.
When the windows come,
when-
not before. When,
Yeah,
yeah?
because
Because
in
there'll be
that
too
4
much
weeks
moisture.
time, yeah.
So I need to find out if we're doing blinds or curtains. I need to ask the question because not everybody goes for blinds.
Yeah.
It's Wednesday. We're not in the yard. We're at the refurbishment project. The windows are going to be here the 7th and 10th of November, and we're going to get this building completely watertight. You can see the area here where previously there was a door that's closed off, and the bricks look different when we first did it. But now with the changes in weather and sun and rain, you can see it's weathered already and it looks like it was always there. You can see the magnitude at the back of the house and the work we've done, and you can see our new roof, and we're just finishing around it. The windows which are arriving are black on the outside and white on the inside, so it's in keeping with what the house used to look like. We're talking about what we're going to do in this area. The material in the ground here is very chalky. There's two ways of doing this. We can take this down and we can build up with a 6F5 and then a Type 1. We can put down a 50mm paving slab, which will be all right with a 150mm build up. But if the client chooses a tile which is much thinner, like a granite tile or an outdoor tile, which is like 20mm, we could get cracks and we could get movement. But the best way to ensure that we don't have any problems here is to take all of this down even further, and we're gonna have to pour a concrete slab here with reinforcement. That way, whatever we put here, we are covered. There'll be no movement, there'll be no problems, no one will be calling me back about snagging or fixing or the tile moved or the grout came out or anything. It's going to cost more money, but it will be cheaper in the long run. And once we're going to work out the drainage we're going to do here, we're going to build a retaining wall in that area where the shingle is, and we're going to begin to do this external work. It's not the best time of the year to do external work, but what can we do? The project is where the project is, and we're in England. If you only work when there's good weather, you'll sit in your house and never do anything. So last week when we spoke about a light on the wall, that's the light that we're talking about. We're going to dot and dab this wall. So we're going to have one there, one here on either side, yeah? We need to strengthen up that area for the chandelier. So they gave us a drawing, we ran the cable, and they're going to inspect it, sign it off. Yeah. The control for lighting panel on the first floor, if it's a shorter run to do it there, Bartek's doing it from the first floor, and if it's shorter on this floor. So this floor could technically be finished. And then we're ready for the ceilings on this floor, yeah? Okay, fine. The client travels, the client's busy. We're just going to have to run the cables, and when we get the answer, we get the answer. If we have to make a change, we have to address it as a variation when we address it as a variation. In one of the bedrooms, you can see what we've got to do with the insulation. Now, you look up here, it doesn't look especially neat, but what we have to do is make sure that between the rafters we have insulation, and then on top of them as well. So we have two different thicknesses. We have a 90mm and a 70mm, but we also need to have a 50mm gap for circulation. Depending on the thickness of the rafter, in some areas we are putting 70mm between the rafters, and in some areas 90, depending on what we need to do to achieve the 50mm. On top of the rafter, then we switch it round and do the 90 or the 70. But in the end, the build-up is always the same. Now here, we are on top of the living room and you can see straight down. So we need to put some sort of chicken wire, or maybe we'll put some ply here, and we'll drop a 200mm rock wool into this area. You can see that this is insulated, stopping any of the cold from getting in. And then round here, we have insulation at high level, and then between these joists here, we're gonna have more insulation before we cut this off. And then on the wall here in the end, we're gonna have a dot and dab 60mm insulation with a 12mm plasterboard stuck to it. In the loft, we're following the same procedure with the 90mm and 70mm, and we still need the 50mm void for circulation. To ensure we get it right here, we've put a piece of timber inside here. So this gives us 50mm. We then take the 90mm insulation and we fit it here. This fits against the joist. We double check the dimension, and then we take the 2x2 and we fit the 2x2 on the front of it. We then fit the 70mm on top of this, meaning we have our 160mm and we have our 50mm ventilation gap at the back. So this is what it looks like with the 90mm between the joists before we fit the 2x2 and the 70mm. That's what it looks like now, and that is what it looks like when it's finished. Let's see how the magic happens. Sitting in traffic on the way back to the yard. Got a little experiment to do, what I need you to all take part in. I know a lot of people watch and they don't have the time and they can't be bothered to hit the like button, or some of you probably aren't logged in, but do me a favor please, just punch the like button. I just want to see what happens if more people like weekly than usual, that the viewing numbers go up. But I just want to see if the episode gets more likes than normal, if it changes anything. Last week I told you about the system that we were putting in place, and I had a good old rant and moan about it. Just an update on that, it's still not resolved, but the IT company and the manufacturer and installer of the system, they had a Zoom call, and my IT company, Subset, I think they have come up with a solution, and now they're trying to work it out with them, I believe, but it is not resolved. And the system is still not working on tablets as of yet. So when Ben turns up with a machine, we still look like we're in the dinosaur age, because he's pulling out paperwork and asking people to sign it, as opposed to using a tablet, taking a picture and getting electronic signatures which update to a cloud. I am waiting for about 100 grand in VAT money. You've seen the trucks we've bought lately, the volumetric, 2 of the tippers, Sam's Amarok came, a Flo's Fiesta came. Our VAT is quarterly, and I'm waiting for the money to come back from the VAT, because I've got to put a couple of other deposits down and pay the VAT up front again. Probably 2 trucks or maybe 3 trucks I'm going to do right away, but I'm looking every day to see when this money comes back so I can spend it all over again and then not have it and wait for it to come back again. It's getting a bit long, to be honest, because we could do with the truck, and the truck is ready, and we want to up the fleet, and we've got drivers sitting in cabs with other drivers because the lorries aren't here yet. Hopefully that VAT comes in today or tomorrow and we can make some payments, and then money will be coming back in. Once again today, Flo is not in the yard, he's at the golf course job. He will have the ecologist with him today, and he will be moving the vegetation while the ecologist watches to ensure that there are no newts in the area, because the newts have all been rehoused, but you've got to make sure 100%. Flo will get that all moved. We're going to change the bin which is there. There was a bin of rubbish yesterday, but either today or tomorrow we'll change, and it will be a bin of green waste which we can take to a different tipping point so they can recycle it and they can make compost or whatever it is they're making with it, which will smell terrible but be fantastic for the soil. You and the ecologist are pals now, yeah?
Me and your coach, he's got my phone number.
What digits?
I said, if you got a problem, mate, just bell me. So I've got the phone's on 24 hours a day, just bell me any problems.
So he's saying Terry is the project manager that everybody asked for, and Daniel is the project manager looking at other people's sites that nobody asked for. Is that what you're saying?
Daniel's the project manager nobody wants, needs, or asks for.
Thank you, Terry. Thank you. So what are you saying, Tel? The way in which I provided all the information and the contacts of the job, and the way last week I scheduled a site meeting and introduced you, and the way I set the site up, it means that it's running smoothly? Or are you saying that I'm nothing to do with it and you just turned up and you smashed it? Are you saying that we're gassing together, Terry? Or are you gassing on me? Which one is it?
I'm saying we're gassing together.
We're gassing together. We're gassing together, Terry.
No one's gassing on anyone.
We're gassing together. That's good, Terry. I like that we're gassing together. having a tidy up in this area. We got some lifts, which you saw us working on a long time ago, which we haven't used because we haven't had a workshop to set them up in. And we also have a different lift system. Click here to watch a video where we take everything out of a garage that was closing. But we're going to remove them and put them somewhere else for storage. And then we're going to begin to put the jersey barriers back to section off this area to make the safe pedestrian walkway and create some parking. Barriers in place. Come on, Dazza. Walk through the new safe pedestrian walkway area. Don't be shy. And now he's completely safe from vehicles. Even if I wanted to get at him with a vehicle, I couldn't because this is a safe pedestrian area. He's over there selling. Workshop bench over here. So my townie, if he wants to do anything, he can do it in the area behind here. And now we can begin to park more vehicles. So the overspill of vehicles that parks outside and in the other car park, it can now keep this space. Musical chairs. Slowly, slowly, catch a monkey. This is how we make it happen. More usable space in the yard. Once I get that straight, then it's on you from there. Put that one, and then he will tell you to move it. It's gonna be strong, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it'll be solid. Now, what is almost 2 ton?
Yeah, 2 ton. These are about 1.5 tons. Those are 2 ton. And what's sitting on top of it, that's like
Is that the last
6 or 7 ton. Yeah, it's like 10 ton, and they're interlocked. It's fine, it's not a problem. You tell them to knock the side in here, and once they knock the side in, then you get it straight and you can carry on.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah? Cool.
Oh, Daniel, yeah. Boy.
Time is 6:09 p.m. Sat at my desk catching up before I leave and go gym, try and get my second wind and do more emails. A couple of weeks back you saw us looking at a job which needed a rear extension. The one where we talked about the steel box frames which were required. We priced the job and I heard this afternoon that we didn't get awarded the contract because we weren't the cheapest, which I can accept. I never claimed to be the cheapest. I said that we would do a great job and here's our portfolio of what we've done before. I was very straight with the client and I didn't tell them how it was, but I informed them based on my previous experience, this would be the case with this job. We are the right people to do this job if your primary concern is to get this job done on time and done well to a high standard, with a contractor who's not going anywhere, who can honour any snagging or honour any rectification works within a 12-month, 24-month defect period, wherever it is. The client said something else to the architect. The client said that I was scary. I don't know what that means. I'm not sure what more I could do. I was smiling, I was happy, I looked around the job. I gave a lot of free advice, what other contractors didn't. I pointed out issues which were not within their tender documentation, which enabled them to now price the job more accurately and have more comfort in the price they received because of what I saw on the job and pointed out. But apparently I was scary. Maybe I was too straight to the point. Don't know. Did I really lose the job on price or did I lose it because I'm scary? I don't know. Either way, we haven't got the job. And that's it for Wednesday. It's Thursday morning. I'm not in the yard. I've come to look at a job. Guess who's with me? Guess who's back?
I'm back.
Back again. Wilson's back. Tell your friend. We're looking at a home automation job and Wilson is consulting. Where have you been, Wilson? Tell us where you've been.
I've been in various shipyards. I've just come back doing huge projects.
We're saying our projects are too small for you now?
No. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying they're different. They're on a different scale.
They're on a different scale. It's good Wilson's here because maybe when I look at this job, the client won't say I'm scary. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
If we can't do it properly and do everything the way we want to do it, then we're not doing the job at all. We need to be able to remotely log in to repair anything. We need emails sent to us if there's going to be an issue. We need to be able to get in to update any software that we want to update. We got to be able to see what the system is doing. If it's not going to be hardwired for the lighting system, for the panelized, it's not going to work properly. The in-wall dimmers, talking on Zigbee or whatever they talk that, or Wi-Fi, that'll just be a nightmare. Then they'll say
the lights aren't working and this and that.
It's all or it's nothing.
Correct.
The cables may not be a problem to the gate because I saw a couple of access hatches in the driveway.
Yeah, and there's conduit as well, so
Good.
You know what? So they're going to need a 44U rack. It's massive and it's heavy, and ideally it would not like to be built off-site, but that's not going to be possible because getting it down those stairs is going to be a ball ache.
Is this just a question of manpower, Wilson?
Probably.
That's minor, don't worry. Wilson, don't you see that man's been training? Manpower we can sort, Wilson.
And yeah, I think it's all achievable.
Let's budget cost it and let them know before we spend any more time on it. Here's the budget. Is this within your expectations? If the answer is yes, then we carry on, not in a rude way, but if the answer is no, then good luck or goodbye. Best of luck with it. You know how it goes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll work on something today.
All right, Wilson. Good man. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, Daniel. Thanks.
Perfect. Wilson and I had a very good look at the job. It's a nice job. Unfortunately, I can't show you footage from inside the house. I don't know the owner well enough. They need their privacy. While me and Wilson were looking around, what you saw is the next stage in the work which Flo was doing. And once again, Terry popped down there. And I think today, based on the budget for the job, I think that we're going to need to stop, and some of the material which is left on site, unless the client increases their budget, we're just going to flatten and spread the material because it is good material. It's nice, clean, inert soil. There's nothing wrong with it, but that decision will be made today at some point. Back at the yard, had some messages from the client's team on the TV locations, what I told you about 2-3 weeks ago. So there will be a TV in front of the bathtub in the master ensuite. Now in bedroom 2, we were talking about options possibly for the TV to be in the cupboard or for it to be on the wall when you enter on the right hand side. However, clients come back and said the wardrobe in that room is too small. So the TV should be on the wall directly opposite the bed. And in bedroom 3, the TV will be on the wall shared with the bathtub because there also will not be a cupboard there. I think they're going to go with a system and have dressers there at low level, and the TV may sit on top of that or be on the wall. So I'm very happy I got those answers from the client. I asked them another question which sparked the answers to this. Are they going to go for curtains or blinds? The difference in curtains and blinds with the track systems is going to affect how we build the structure of the ceiling, because if the blinds are not being used, we want them to appear hidden and we want to have a very slim line which the blinds come out of. If the client can't decide at the moment, then we're probably going to build our ceiling system away from the wall so there's a gap between the window and our structure, so if they choose blinds or curtains later, they can attach in this area behind, so then it still has the illusion that it's hidden. In case you're wondering why I'm drawing this on the plan, is because David isn't here and I'm trying to tell him over the phone the same way I'm telling you. What I just told you, I can save it with loads of cutaways, yeah, while I'm going all Rain Man, looking this way, trying to remember it. But I'm trying to send this to David so they can continue with the wiring. Drawn it on the plan, Vesha will scan it or take a picture and send it to David so the boys can crack on site. Isn't that right, Vesha? Now we've moved all our offices, they've got no power. Previously, the data and the electric, which was running over to the gym and then over to the training room and the merchandise container. Well, now the cables are here. So we're going to take a scaffold pole, we're going to attach up here, and we're going to run that over to the training room. We're going to attach there and there, make sure it's secure. The cable will run along this, and then we'll be able to connect the training room, the merchandise container, and then at last be able to connect the offices. The time is 7:07 p.m. Just left the yard, and I'm not going to the gym. I'm heading down to Dover, but I'll tell you why later. Told you a couple of days ago about the person who was starting in the bagged aggregate role, and we had a shift around in the yard, moved everything, and the container has been dropped, new office. The lads are coming to the yard on Saturday. They're going to do some work, connect it for electric. It will be ready for Monday. We're preparing. There's new materials coming in. And the person is now no longer starting with the business. It's just, you know, you just can't make it out. They're not starting anymore because they got an offer from somewhere else, and I think the other company said that they could work on the road the entire time, which basically means work from home. And I guess it wasn't meant to be, because what will be will be. I've spent the last part of today filling up my diary with important meetings for the end of November and December. A lot of them are one-on-one catch-ups with people within other companies I talk to, suppliers and clients, trying to make it happen. And I was talking to my friend Owen at MP Moran's earlier, and I said, listen, we need to be doing more with you. And he said,
You need to be doing more with us.
I said, let's have something to eat, let's talk about it, let's make it happen. I said, we're only doing the loose aggregates for you. And he said,
Dan, calm down. Slow and steady wins the race. A dripping bucket will fill eventually, steadily.
And I was like, you're right, it will. A dripping bucket will fill eventually. And then I said, what's going on? We need to do more with you. Forget all that. Don't try to give me all those slick terms to try and calm me down. So, on to why I'm going down to Dover. I'm doing a course tomorrow, which means I'll be able to charter boats by myself. The last times I traveled, I tried to take a boat and they said,
where's your license?
And I didn't have one. I didn't really like that. So I'm going to spend Friday and Saturday getting my license in place. And that is one of the final ones. Now, the pilot's license still evades me because I haven't had the time to actually get in and do the lessons and do the hours. And I did all the exams, which were difficult, all the paper exams, all 7 of them, and 2 years went by and now they all expired and I would have to do them again. So that's on the back burner at the moment. With my license to charter boats, I guess I can now take the skip boat out properly by myself. Can't go over to France because of Brexit and I'd have to register the boat as an actual vessel. But I was thinking of doing it as kind of like a charity thing, trying to cross the channel in the skip boat. So this is one step closer to doing that. I now have a 2-hour journey. And then when I get to the hotel, I got to sit down and do emails and do a watch through of weekly 158. Click here to watch that episode, which has been out for 2 weeks by now. The time now is 10 to 11. I've been in this hotel for an hour and 20 minutes. However, I haven't managed to do any work because when I got here, I checked in and I was given a key to a room. So I grabbed all my bags and I put my key to the door. And when I opened the door, there was a couple, I assume they're a couple, grown-ups, doing what grown-ups do when grown-ups have privacy. And I'm standing there for a second. Now, the strangest thing in all of this is nobody immediately screamed.
Get out.
The 2 consenting adults looked at each other. And I just said, I was given this room key. And then I backed out the door, forgot my bag in the room. I don't know where my bag is. I don't know what happened to my crispy M&Ms and my 3 bottles of water. Up to now, I still can't hear no one tell me,
get out, what are you doing here?
The look was kind of like,
did you call him?
Neither of them called me. And I didn't want to be in that position. I wasn't happy. I then had to wait while they cleaned another room, and they were kind enough to give me the 3 bottles of water, which I lost, and some macaroons, which do not compensate for my crispy M&Ms, which I lost. Now I have a video to watch, I have emails, and I have all my work to do. And I'm going to be even more tired tomorrow than I already was. And that's it for an unusual Thursday evening. Friday, I'm not in the yard, I'm in Dover. If you remember, I was here for part 3 of the skip boat, when the skip boat went out to sea. Click here to watch that video. I'm about to go and do a course, which means I can charter boats myself. And I've just been told in the yard, the train has arrived. learning on that, yeah? You do know how much I weigh. I am told that this is high tide and this will change by 6 or 7 meters. If you don't know about tides, you can make a big old mistake here. Start training.
In World War I and II, this is where everybody was stationed. This is like the last line of defense. 3 months stationed over there. They're bringing in aggregates. Have a look at this material here and this screener. They did not buy that material from Ashville. What's going on here?
This entire area is going to be filled with sand up to this level. All the area you can see here, ships are going to go out to sea, they're going to dredge sand, rainbow blast it to here, fill it all up completely, and this is going to be a new cargo terminal. How do we feel about that? For the economy, a new cargo terminal, and for the area, is fantastic. It's going to stimulate growth, but from a historic perspective, I think it's actually quite sad. So much has happened in this area, all of it's going to be lost and buried forever. Come back in for lunch. I've just heard from the yard that the roof work is starting on the scaffolding area. I hope by the end of the week, as in tomorrow, Saturday, it's all done. Latest, it will be done by Tuesday. Then the tyre technician will have somewhere to work without getting wet anymore, which has been the aim the entire time. I know it's been a lot of running around, but we did get there in the end. We have a delivery of the windows which are going to go in the Olympic offices. We're trying to sneak up on Grumpy the seal. See if we can get a bit closer to him. He is the common harbour seal. Lives by himself. And speaking of grumpy resident people, once again today, Terry was at the golf course job and we continue to move the green waste, but we're not taking out any muck. Day 1 is finished. Remember when the day started, I told you about the tide level. And in case you're wondering why the audio is so bad, I dropped the camera earlier. So here's my Bluetooth microphone. Look at this, I snapped it in half. So that's why the audio is bad. So everyone forgive me, and video team also forgive me. The gentleman who's got me down here, called Sam, you've seen him in the past. He was the one who was in the skip boat with me, who managed to speak to Dover Marine Harbour and allow me to put the skip boat here. Now this is Wet Wheels Southeast. This is a foundation that was formed by Jeff Holt after he had a diving accident in Antigua many years ago and he became paraplegic. He wanted to create a boat where people with disability who need wheelchair access can actually drive a boat. So here we are. There's a ramp, which I'm not using because it's not needed. And if you have a look on the floor, the wheelchairs can be strapped down. 2 massive brand new engines. This seat can be completely removed. And this ramp is used for wheelchair access, and people who would have otherwise never been able to captain and skip at a ship can do it on this boat. Despite Jeff's disability after his accident in Antigua, he has achieved fantastic things in his life. He is also a motivational speaker. This ship changes lives for children all over the UK, and they're looking to branch out more. Day 2, down in rainy Dover. Yesterday was a better day. And this morning I left the hotel. I took my suitcase down to put it in my car because I had to check out by 11 a.m. and I would be here all day. And my Land Rover Defender has broken down. The car will not start. So I've called out Land Rover Assistance. They're sending someone, but at the moment I am stuck in Dover and I won't be able to get back. In the yard, the lads from the build firm are all there. Now, there are multiple jobs that need to be done today, but the first one is the new container office. They're taking out all the internal walls, desks, any fixtures and fittings, making an open plan space, and we're working out exactly where we need to put additional sockets so we can work from the area. Now, I'm here, and normally I like to be involved, so what I've done is I made a little sketch for Bartouche to work from so we can clear it out and then try to get some rough locations of sockets and switches. The next job today in the yard is the Olympic containers. The lads are going to take the window frames and glass and fit them in place so we can walk towards getting that area watertight and work out if our experiment has actually worked. If this does work, then we'll have a blueprint for the other containers, which we'll get started on in the coming months. And lastly, we are fixing down the supporting legs and the stairs. I'm learning in all weather conditions. Right at sea, it's choppy. I'm completely drenched, even though I've got 7 layers on, and we're doing man overboard exercises. So someone goes overboard, you go past, you veer off, you turn back, you go back down your straight line, someone goes on the front, and we have to save Bob, as we call him, from out the water. We're doing very well, but we're absolutely drenched and it's freezing cold. But this is real life training. This is the scenario. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm enjoying it. So right about now, I'm in virtual reality. I'm in a tug. Wet Wheels have created this so people with disabilities who would never be able to gain access to a tug in this area, they can actually see how it's done and they can experience it. So we're on top of someone's head here, but okay. You can see the way they use the controls and how steady it is. And what exactly are they doing here, James?
So they're picking up a stern line from that vessel so they can bring it in safely into the port and slow it down.
Wow. So there's some more of the great work that Wet Wheels are doing. Remember, check them out. The link's in the description. My car's working. You know, I'm the first person to say when something's broken or it's not good or it's not working properly. The sticker man fitted one of them ghosts on here or something. You know, you got to press all the buttons and all that to get it started. What happened was the battery in the immobilizer of that died, so this wouldn't turn itself on. So it wasn't Land Rover, it wasn't a Defender, but the guys at Land Rover, they were really good. They came out, they were fault finding for a while because they couldn't work out what it is, because that tracker feeds off one of the main cables and it made a break in the circuit. But after some fault finding, they managed to get it fixed. I am enabled to make my way back. Great 2 days, but tough. I'm extremely tired. I think the time is 4:33. I may need to head back to the yard because the last version I watched of Ashville Weekly, which is going out tomorrow morning, which is episode 158, click here to watch that video. I haven't had a chance to watch it properly and I'm so tired, so I may go there, I may go back. Do you remember a long time ago I was telling you about the legal battle we had with the people that said they didn't owe the money and then we did owe the money and then we didn't? That has now gone to court and we're waiting on the judge to make a judgment, but they're still just trying to tie us up in loops. We've got another job where they're not paying us for no reason. They're just giving us the run around and it's just, you know, it's just tiring. You just read these emails delaying it and half term and this and that. And, oh, we thought this and we thought, you know, just running down the clock. It's just so destroying. Just pay the money, man. Like you know you owe it. Like just And it's not like they haven't got it. They just don't want to pay. That's how they got so much money, because they don't want to pay it. But they were your best friend when the job was getting done. Anyway, it has been a positive week and a lot has happened, and we have pushed on many fronts despite the challenges that we faced and the hurdles that were thrown in front of us. And that's it for Ashville Weekly episode 160. Click here for the Ashville website. Click here to subscribe to our channel. Click here to see an Ashville video you may not have seen before, and click down here for last week's episode, which was number 159.